Hey everyone, and welcome back to English Café Studio, the cozy little corner where learning English feels less like studying and more like relaxing with friends over a great cup of coffee. I'm James.
And I'm Lily. We're so happy you're here. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's improve your English together.
Lily, can I ask you something? This might be the number one question our viewers ask us.
Let me guess. Is it, I don't have anyone to practice English with?
Exactly. We hear it all the time. James, I live alone. My friends don't speak English. I want to practice, but I don't have a speaking partner. And honestly, I completely understand why people feel frustrated.
Me too. But here's the exciting part. That problem isn't nearly as big as most people think. Because the truth is, you absolutely do not need another person to become a confident English speaker.
Wait. Really? You mean someone can improve their speaking skills completely alone?
Absolutely. In fact, some of the fastest English learners spend a lot of time practicing by themselves. Not because they have to, but because they understand something very important. Practice creates confidence, and confidence creates fluency.
Wow, I've never looked at it that way before. I guess if you're always waiting for another person, you might spend more time waiting than actually speaking.
Exactly. Let's imagine two students. The first student practices English with a friend once every Saturday. That's wonderful. But the second student speaks English alone for just 15 minutes every single day. Now think about it. Who do you think gets more speaking practice after 1 month?
Well, when you put it like that, the answer is pretty obvious. 15 minutes a day adds up really fast.
It certainly does. And here's something else. When you're practicing alone, there's no pressure. Nobody is judging you. Nobody is waiting for you to finish your sentence. You can pause, start again, laugh at your mistakes, and keep going. That's actually one of the best ways to build real confidence.
I love that! And today, we're going to show you exactly how to do it. No expensive course, no private tutor, no language exchange partner, and definitely no waiting around for someone else to be free. Just practical techniques that you can start using today.
That's right. And while we're chatting, you'll also learn 6 natural American English expressions, the kind you'll actually hear in everyday conversations. We'll explain what they mean when native speakers use them and how you can start using them naturally in your own English.
Plus, we've prepared a fun little quiz halfway through today's episode. Nothing stressful, just a quick challenge to see how much you've learned.
And don't leave early, because near the end, James and I will perform a real-life conversation using all 6 expressions you've learned today. See if you can spot every single one.
So, if you've ever told yourself, I can't improve my English because I don't have anyone to practice with, today's conversation might completely change your mind. So, refill your coffee, relax, and let's discover how practicing English alone can become your greatest advantage. All right, now that we've answered the biggest question, let's talk about something you can start doing today. No special equipment, no expensive course, just you and your voice.
Exactly. And our very first expression is, Think out loud. Oh, I absolutely love this one. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's one of the easiest ways to practice English every single day.
Okay. I know what think means. I know what out loud means. But when you put them together, what does think out loud actually mean?
Great question. To think out loud means instead of keeping your thoughts inside your head, you actually say them using your voice. You're not talking to another person, you're simply giving your thoughts a voice.
So, instead of silently thinking, I need to make breakfast, I'd actually say, I'm going to make breakfast now.
Exactly! And then you keep going. I'm opening the refrigerator. I think I'll make some eggs today. Oh, we're out of milk. I'll stop by the grocery store later. See what happened? You're turning ordinary moments into English practice.
That's actually kind of fun. It's almost like you're the narrator of your own life.
Yes, that's a perfect way to describe it. And the best part is, nobody is there to interrupt you. You can speak slowly, pause whenever you need, correct yourself, and keep talking.
I think a lot of learners worry, what if I make mistakes?
That's completely normal. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. The goal is practice. Every sentence you speak makes your brain a little faster at thinking in English.
Can we hear a real example?
Of course. Imagine I'm getting ready for work. I might say, okay, where are my keys? I can't find them. Oh, there they are, on the kitchen table. I should leave now, or I'll be late. Those are simple sentences, but together, they create several minutes of speaking practice.
And the amazing thing is, you're practicing real English, not memorizing random vocabulary lists.
Exactly. You're using language that you'll actually need in everyday life. And that's why this technique works so well.
All right, what's our second expression?
Our next expression is talk yourself through it. This one sounds similar, but it's a little different.
Okay, now you've got my attention. What's the difference?
When you talk yourself through it, you explain every step while you're doing something. Imagine you're making coffee. You could say, first, I'll boil the water. Now, I'll add the coffee. Next, I'll pour the hot water slowly. Finally, my coffee is ready. You're describing the process step by step.
Oh, I get it now. It's almost like you're your own teacher, giving yourself instructions.
Exactly. You can do it while cooking, cleaning your room, packing a suitcase, or even assembling a new chair. Every daily activity becomes another opportunity to practice English naturally.
Who knew doing household chores could actually improve your English? I think I'm going to wash the dishes a lot more often now.
Who knew doing household chores could actually improve your English? I think I'm going to wash the dishes a lot more often now.
You know, Lily, the first two techniques already feel surprisingly practical. I can definitely imagine myself thinking out loud while making breakfast, and I actually want to try talking myself through everyday tasks.
I'm so glad to hear that. But before we move on, there's one more idea that might be even more important than the first two, because this one changes the way you think about learning English.
Now you've made me curious. What's our third expression?
I think this is where a lot of English learners struggle. They're afraid of saying something wrong. Sometimes they know the answer, but they stay quiet because they're worried about making a mistake. Exactly. And here's something I'd love everyone listening to remember. Making mistakes doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're learning. Every fluent English speaker has made thousands of mistakes. The difference is they didn't stop speaking.
Exactly. And here's something I'd love everyone listening to remember. Making mistakes doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're learning. Every fluent English speaker has made thousands of mistakes. The difference is they didn't stop speaking.
Exactly. Let's imagine you're describing your weekend. Maybe you accidentally say, "Yesterday, I go to the park." A moment later, you realize, "Oh, it should be, I went to the park." That's not a failure. That's progress. Because you noticed the mistake and corrected yourself.
I like that. It's almost like every mistake is giving you feedback.
That's a wonderful way to think about it. In fact, sometimes I tell my students, if you're never making mistakes, you're probably not challenging yourself enough. Growth happens just outside your comfort zone.
So, making a few mistakes every day is actually a good sign?
Absolutely. Of course, we don't want to repeat the same mistake forever, but we shouldn't be afraid of making new ones. That's how real learning happens. Growth happens just outside your comfort zone.
All right, it's time for a quick coffee break challenge. Let's see how much you've learned so far. Ready?
Don't worry, this isn't an exam. It's just a fun way to practice. Take a moment, think about each question, and say your answer out loud.
Question number 1. You're making breakfast and you're describing everything you're doing in English. Which expression fits best? A. Think out loud. B. Break the ice. Or hit the books. I'll give you a few seconds. The correct answer is think out loud.
Great job if you got that right. Remember, you're simply speaking your thoughts as they happen.
Question number 2. You're building a bookshelf and you're explaining every step of the process. Which expression fits? A. Talk yourself through it. B. Call it a day. Or jump the gun. That's right. The answer is talk yourself through it.
Excellent. Describing each step helps you practice natural vocabulary and improves your fluency at the same time.
Last question. You make a grammar mistake. Should you stop speaking? Or should you get comfortable with mistakes and keep going? If you chose the second answer, you're absolutely right.
How did you do? Did you get 1 out of 3? 2 out of 3? Or a perfect 3 out of 3? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
And now, it's time to level up. We've covered 3 great expressions already, but in the next section, you'll learn 3 more that will make your English sound even more natural. All right, we're back. So far, we've learned 3 expressions that can completely change the way you practice English alone. But now, it's time to make your English sound even more natural.
Exactly. These next 3 expressions are used all the time by English learners, teachers, and even native speakers. And our 4th expression is shadow someone.
I've heard that expression before, but I always imagined literally following someone around. That's not what it means, right?
Definitely not. When you shadow someone, you listen to a native English speaker and you repeat exactly what they say, almost at the same time. You copy their pronunciation, their rhythm, their pauses, and even their emotions.
So, I'm not just repeating words, I'm copying the way they actually speak.
Exactly. Let's say you're listening to a podcast. The speaker says, "Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today." You immediately repeat, "Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today." Try to sound just like the speaker. That's called shadowing.
I tried that once. At first, I sounded terrible. But after a few days, I noticed my pronunciation became much smoother.
And that's perfectly normal. Nobody sounds perfect on the first day. The more you shadow someone, the more natural your English begins to sound.
Okay, what's expression number 5?
Our next expression is build momentum. This one is one of my favorites because it isn't just about English, it's about creating a habit.
So, what exactly does build momentum mean?
It means starting with small, consistent actions that become easier over time. Imagine pushing a bicycle. The first few seconds take the most effort, but once it's moving, keeping it moving feels much easier. Learning English works the same way.
So, instead of studying for 3 hours once a month, it's better to practice 10 or 15 minutes every day.
Exactly. Those small daily sessions build momentum. Soon, speaking English every day feels completely natural.
I like that. It feels much less stressful than trying to learn everything in one weekend.
Absolutely. Consistency always beats intensity.
All right, I'm ready for our final expression.
Here it is. Don't overthink it. This is advice I give my students almost every day.
I have a feeling a lot of people need to hear this.
Oh, they really do. Many learners create the perfect sentence in their heads, then change it again until they never actually speak. That's called overthinking.
I've done that before. Sometimes I'm so busy worrying about perfect grammar that the conversation has already moved on.
Exactly. Instead, take a breath, say your sentence, and keep the conversation moving. Remember, communication is more important than perfection. Don't wait for perfect English. Start speaking and let your English improve one conversation at a time.
I love that. So, let's do a quick recap. Today we've learned think out loud, talk yourself through it, get comfortable with mistakes, shadow someone, build momentum, and finally, don't overthink it. 6 expressions that can completely change the way you practice English. All right, it's time for the fun part. Let's imagine I'm getting ready for an important job interview tomorrow morning. I'm home alone, and instead of worrying, I'm going to practice my English. Ready?
Ready. As you're listening, see if you can hear all 6 expressions we've learnt today. Let's begin.
Okay, first, I need to choose my clothes. I think the blue shirt looks more professional. Now I need to iron it. See? I'm thinking out loud. And I'm practicing English at the same time.
Exactly. You're turning an ordinary task into a speaking lesson without opening a textbook.
Now I'm making a cup of coffee. Let's talk myself through it. First, I'll fill the kettle with water. Next, I'll switch it on. While the water is heating, I'll grab my favorite mug. Finally, I'll pour the coffee and enjoy my first sip.
Perfect. Notice how James described every single step. That's exactly how you talk yourself through it. Simple actions, real English.
Now, it's time to practice my interview answers. I'll play a short video and shadow someone. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. Why do you want this job? Why do you want this job? Wow, that really helps with pronunciation.
It certainly does. When you shadow someone, you don't just learn words. You learn rhythm, intonation, and natural pronunciation. That's how fluent speakers begin to sound more natural.
Oops, I just made a grammar mistake. I said, I have went to college. That isn't right. It should be, I went to college. You know what? I'm not upset. I'm going to get comfortable with mistakes. I'll correct it, learn from it, and keep speaking.
That's exactly the right attitude. Mistakes aren't the end. They're part of the journey. Every correction makes you a little stronger.
You know, a few weeks ago, I could only practice once in a while. But now, I'm speaking English every single day. Little by little, I'm starting to build momentum.
And that's the secret. Not one perfect day, but many small days of consistent practice. That's where real confidence comes from.
All right. One last interview question. Maybe I should make my answer more complicated or use bigger vocabulary. Actually, no. I'm going to not overthink it. I'll speak clearly, keep it simple, and focus on communicating.
Exactly. Simple English, spoken with confidence, is always better than perfect English that never gets spoken.
You know, Lily, today's episode taught me something important. I don't need to wait for the perfect teacher, the perfect partner, or the perfect moment. I can start improving today, right at home.
And that's the message we hope every listener remembers. Practice doesn't have to be complicated. Speak while you cook. Speak while you clean. Speak while you walk around your house. Every minute you spend speaking is another step toward fluency.
Before we go, let's quickly review today's 6 expressions. Think out loud. Speak your thoughts aloud. Talk yourself through it. Describe each step. While you're doing something. Get comfortable with mistakes. Don't be afraid to make errors. Learn from them. Shadow someone. Repeat after a native speaker to improve pronunciation and rhythm. Build momentum. Practice a little every day until English becomes a habit. And finally, don't overthink it. Stop chasing perfection and start speaking. And that's the message we hope every listener remembers. Practice doesn't have to be complicated. Speak while you cook. Speak while you clean. Speak while you walk around your house. Every minute you spend speaking is another step toward fluency.
Now it's your turn. Tell us in the comments what's one activity you'll practice in English today. Will you practice while cooking, cleaning, driving, working, or maybe taking a walk? We genuinely love to hear your answer.
If you enjoyed today's coffee chat, please give this video a like, subscribe to English Café Studio, and share it with someone who thinks they can't practice English alone.
Thank you so much for spending your coffee break with us. Remember, confidence doesn't come from waiting. It comes from practicing. One small conversation at a time.
Thanks for spending your coffee break with us. Keep practicing, one conversation at a time.
Thanks for spending your coffee break with us. Keep practicing, one conversation at a time.
Keep speaking.
Keep growing. We'll see you next time at English Café Studio.